All right, sixth graders, I'm on page 29, actually in both my workbook and that's where we're starting in our packet too. They're kind of lining up today. So we're just going to use these graphs now that we've been working with to compare ratio relationships and how they go. So how can you compare them? Well, the ratios of each of the three companies is shown using a different representation. So to compare them, you can use the same. So right now we have a company B in a graph, or a chart, I mean, a company C in a graph, and a company A just in words. So they're gonna just compile them all into a graph, and then you can kind of see their comparisons a little bit easier that way. So looking at this first example, Paulo's Pizzeria, I just turned the page, we're on page 30. Paulo's Pizzeria advertises 24 pepperonis on every 12-inch pizza. All right, so we have words here. Then Slice of Pie is another pizzeria, and they have 15 pepperonis on a 10-inch. So in order to compare them, they're kind of putting them all together. So they have the pizza place already there. So they found numbers that worked well. They went with by twos along the x-axis and by fives for the number of pepperonis. And then they plotted some points to compare them to see who had more pepperonis. So this means that let's see, who is this blue people here? The pizza place. I'm just gonna write the pizza place has the greatest ratio of pepperonis to pizza size in inches, followed by the green, which was Paulo's, and then Slice of Pie. So they gave us this check, but didn't really let's see. Refer to example 1. A fourth pizzeria, Pizza Cafe, advertises 14 pepperonis for every 8-inch pizza. So let's graph that relationship so we can compare. All right, so which pizzeria, Pizza Cafe, or Slice of Pie advertises the greatest ratio of pepperoni to pizza slice? All right, so let's plot this point. 14 for every 8 inches. So here is the 8. 14 would be below this 15 here. So as you're looking here, if you're comparing along the 8-inch line here, right? Because we can only compare the same size pizza. It looks like this new place, Pizza Cafe, has more than Slice of Pie. So we're going to say Pizza Cafe because they have 14 for 8 inches. And that Slice of Pie was the red one. And it looks like for 8 inches, it's like between the 10 and the 15. So we could say that Slice has approximately 12 for their 8-inch pizza. Okay. We know that by looking at that estimated line there. If they had an 8-inch pizza, it would have about that much. Okay. All right. Hopping now to page 31, it says another way to compare ratio relationships is to use tables, a comparison of 3 smoothie recipes. Here they are, A, B, and C. A, blueberry to strawberry ratio of 8 to 2. B, 5 to 1. And C, 10 to 3. You can use tables to determine which recipe has the greatest ratio of blueberries to strawberries. So see how they extended them so that they got 6, the same number of blueberries? I'm sorry, the same number of strawberries, and then they could compare the blueberries. So it looks like B has the most, and then A with 24, and then C with 20 blueberries to every 6 strawberries. All right, so let's look at our example here. Roman is considering different bird seeds. Recipe A has a sunflower to peanut ratio of 2 to 3. Oh, they've done this. So what we have to do is continue on these ratio tables. So if these are going up by 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, these are going up by 3, 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay? If these are going up by 3, 3, 6, 9, 12, these are going up by 4, 4, 8, 12, 16. And then if these are going up by 5, 10, 15, 20, these are going up by 6s, 6, 12, 18, 24. And you notice that they all have the same number of ounces of peanuts in one of them. So here's a 12, right? Here's a 12. Here's a 12. So we can compare them this way. Who has the most sunflower seeds per ounces of peanuts? We would say C, and then B, and then A. Does that make sense? It was continued on the next page, but you can see that they compared those 3. So this is page 32. Because 10 is greater than 9 and 8, the recipe with the greatest ratio of sunflower seeds to peanuts is recipe C. When working on homework, Bailey spends 15 minutes reading for every 20 minutes spent on math. So this is 15 for reading, 20 for math. Aisha spends 12 minutes reading. So here's 12 minutes reading for every 15 minutes of math. And Tyler spends 7 minutes reading for every 10 minutes of math. So again, this is kind of like we have to find common multiples. What's the common multiple of 10, 15, and 20? Right? So if we're going by 20s here, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120. We're going by 15s here, 15, 30, 45, 60. Use your multiplication table if you have to, right? 75, 90. 10s, hopefully we can do that. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Which one do they all have in common? They all have a 60, right? So we've got to count out this one by 15s, which we already did that. So we're just rewriting that. 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90. We're counting this out by 12s, right? 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72. And these go by 7, 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42. So now we have to figure out which is the greatest ratio of reading minutes to math minutes. So if we're comparing, these 3 ratios, don't look at that one. We're really comparing 45, 48, and 42, which is the biggest? Aisha, right? Okay. I think this one's actually pretty fun to walk through in your packet, starting on page 29. This is 1-4, right? 1-4, 1-4, 1-4, page 29 in your packet. Nico is comparing the amounts. So this was your workbook pages, if you're wondering why that's up there. Of protein in 2 different brands of trail mix. So essentially you can Brand A advertises 5 grams per serving. Here it is 2 for every 8. So you're just going to plot these points. So number of servings, if there's 1 serving and 5 grams, you would say here, right? For every 1 serving, it goes up 5 grams. For every 1 serving, it goes up 5 grams. For every 1 serving, it goes up 5 grams. So that is the first one, all right? Now, if we look at, plot the points on the graph to show the amount of protein for 1, 2, 3, and 4 servings of brand A. All right, I did it. Now, fill in the blank. Which brand offers the greater ratio of grams of protein to servings of trail mix? Well, we did not do and brand B. I skipped that part. So let's add brand B here. So for 2, there were 8. I'm going to jump to the 2. I'm going to put an X at 8 since they don't have 2 different colors. Then I can just compare that brand B is an X and brand A is a dot, okay? And then for 3 servings, we were at 12. And for 4 servings, we were at 16. So how many servings then, because it wants us to plot for 1 serving as well, how many servings would this be? It's going up by how much each jump? Good. It's going up by 4 each jump, so we've got to go down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, which would put us at 4. So which one offers the greater ratio of grams of protein per serving? That would be the brand A, right? And we can circle A if you'd like. So that's it for page 29. Page 30 is going to give us a couple more. Bouquet design. A rose has a carnation ratio of 3 to 2. Rose to carnation. So 3 to 4. Sorry, I read that wrong. And design B has a rose to carnation of 2 to 3. I'm not really sure why they do these ginormously like this, but 2 to 3. Complete the ratio tables for each design. All right, so every 3, it's going up 4. Every 3, it's going up another 4. These are going up 3 every time, so these are going to go up 2 every time. 2, 4, 6, 8. All right, so for design A, when there are 12 carnations here, how many are roses? 9. So we can answer that question. All right, so far so good. I think these look like really nice. I think you should be able to finish up your packet without much trouble. I know there's still 1-5. There's 1 page at the end that's 1-5, but you should be able to plow through these pretty quickly if you're turning off your voice and staying focused. For design B, when there are 12 carnations, there are 8 roses. So if we're comparing when there are 12, we would say design A has more roses with 9 instead of the 8, okay? So that just walked you through how you would use those tables. Again, you're using this. You can apply these down here to compare or turn this into a table to compare, perhaps. I'm not sure. Whichever you choose. Now, completing these tables, Alex spends 24 minutes doing resistance for every 30 minutes of cardio. So as these go up by 30, these go up by 24. And then Carissa is, for every 15 minutes of resistance, 20 minutes on cardio. So 20, 40, 60 here. And then Manuel, again, I don't know why that's ginormous. That's kind of random, but as these go up by 14, they're doing 15 minutes for each on cardio. So 15, 30, 45, and 60. Now we're looking for something in common. Before we turn the page, look and see where the cardio is in common. Where do they match? I have a 60, a 60, a 60. So I'm going to go ahead and circle these because I know they're going to ask us something about them. Who has the biggest one of these? Manuel, and then Alex, and then Carissa. So let's see. Which person has the greatest ratio spent on cardio? So we said Manuel. Manuel. When all three people spend 60 minutes on cardio, Manuel spends the greatest number of minutes. This means that Manuel has the greatest ratio. Okay, so this answer is going here and also here. Okay. So number 5 is similar to what you have already done. Same here. If you want to look, I feel like you guys can do these. Look back at the 3 examples, right? They were very similar to every one of these. But just getting you started, be sure you're doing number 6 as well. But you should be able to get through page 41, I do believe. Yes, through page 41 today. Okay, so I'm gonna leave you to that. But Trent, here 20 for every 30. So we're gonna count by 20 on the top and 30 on the bottom. Okay, same with Natalie. Spends 15 for every 20. So that means every time we count 15 on the top, we're counting 20 on the bottom. Okay? All right. Get going, get busy, keep your mouths closed. Stay focused, guys. You should be getting to the end of your packet here. We will be taking a quiz early next week. All right, more things to come.